Good day, everyone. Today, we're going to have the presentations, and we're going to start with the compress and extract files lesson by Group 8. Let's give them a virtual clap.
Okay, hello. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. We are the group. We are here to show you the PowerPoint we present. Next, we will going to present. Okay, learning outcomes, compress and extract files, create screen captures. There are two topics that we will discuss. Next, introduction. You traverse the file structure of your desktop computer after creating and managing folders and files. You may need to minimize the size of files as you perform your computing course in order to transfer them more easily. You will compress and extract files in this topic. Some file formats, such as image and presentation files, have huge file sizes. You could use less storage space and transfer the information in less time if you could lower the file size without altering it. Also, transferring many files can be made easier by compressing them into a single file. It's it's self-explanatory. You compress some files so that it will use less storage. Next, well, a file pro- compressing a file is the process of reducing of the size of the file. The major advantage of a compressed file is that it makes it easier to transfer from one location to another. One example, one example of problem that compresses files is WinZip. Files that are compressed with this utility will have a .zip extension. There are also different zip zip extensions like the 7-zip, the RAR file, and there are many more. You can compress a single file to make it smaller. You can also compress multiple files and folders into a single compressed file, making it easier to move the group of files to another location. Restoring a compressed file to its original size is called extracting. Next, extraction methods. One of the most One of the most commonly used compression methods is zip compression. Most operating systems have a pre-installed program for zip compressions or zipping. If you have an older operating system, you may have to install a separate zip program. Popular compression method includes zip, RAR, and GZ. Both Windows and Linux as well as Mac OS can handle zip files usually without having to install a separate zip program. Sa RAR section, usually requires installing a separate compression extraction program. Ano siya? Different application. GC packages are common in Linux and Unix, which usually have their own default application for handling them, such as gzip for Windows and Mac OS. They are separate programs with which you can open GZ files. Next. 7-zip. The file extension of the 7-zip packing installation. Paliwanag na rin kanina. Note that many programs for compression and extraction know how to handle different compression types. When you have installed a compression program, you can pack and unpack files or packages consisting of several files. All compression and extraction programs usually work alike. When you know how to use one program, you probably know how to use them all. Compressing files as zip packages. Windows 7 has a pre-installed program for compressing and extracting files. To compress files with it, follow these steps. Go to folder which contains the file or subfolder you want to compress. Note that the file you are going to compress must not be open in any program. Right-click the folder and select Send to, and then in the submenu, select Compressed Zip folder. Here is the pop-up menu. Next. So as you can see, here is the pop-up menu. This is what will appear when you right-click a file. Next. The compression program will pack the selected file or subfolder into the same folder where the original file is located. When you extract a zip package, the extracted file is usually stored in a separate folder. After extraction, you can delete the zip file if you wish. Zipping programs do not usually delete the original package after extraction. When you wish to extract a zip file, save it to a folder, then right-click the package and select Extract All. Next, select the folder where you want to extract the package. The program will suggest a folder to you. If you want to extract to that folder, click Extract. If you want to change the folder, click Browse and then select the folder you want. Then proceed by clicking Extract. The extraction program will extract the file into the directory you have selected. That depending on the operating system and installed programs, you may not be able to compress and extract files in the way described here and above. Compression programs that are not operating system specific, like 7-zip, which is used in some environments, may work differently. If you use 7-zip, you may wish to read the instruction. Well, there's a link there. So basically, it is just a a different type of copying file, but you compress a file that is, for example, too big, and you want to save some, and you want to save some space on your drive or storage. This is an easy thing to do, and it's quite, you know, you know, it's quite useful. Next, next reporter.
So for the report of group 7, for the screen captures. Next slide, please. Um, so the best way to take screenshots for Windows and Mac. Next. Taking a screenshot, a print screen for the Windows users. This is the easy way to take a screenshot. Is the to click the print screen key in your keyboard to capture your entire screen. Simply press the print screen on the upper right side of your keyboard. The screenshot will save to your clipboard to save the file and paste the screenshot into any program that you allow to insert images like Microsoft Word or Paint. So for the other keys to use is to take screenshot on Windows 10 and automatically save the file. Press the Windows key plus print screen key in your keyboard. Your screen will go dim and screenshot of your entire screen and will save to the entire pictures screenshot folders. Oh, dyan lang muna. Third-party screenshot apps for Windows. Snagit is a screenshot tool that allows you to create animated GIFs, take full page screenshots, and more. The downside the downside is the premium version costs around 50 bucks. There's also a 30-day free trial auto. Any pictures you can capture during this trial is watermarked. Then next is Lightshot. It's a free screenshot tool designed for quick social sharing. When you download and install Lightshot on Windows 10, it replaces the print screen function and offers more editing capabilities. And GreenShot is another free tool that allows you to edit and customize screenshots, as well as the option to capture a complete scrolling web page. So next reporter for the Mac user.
Good afternoon, I'm Rachel Saldario from Group 7. For Mac user, to screenshot the entire screen, just press Shift Command 3. When you take a screenshot, it appears as a thumbnail in the bottom right corner of your screen. If you leave it there, it will automatically save to your desktop by default. Next is, if you want to take a screenshot of a portion of your screen, press Shift Command 4. This will turn your pointer into a crosshair. Move it to where you want to start the screenshot. Click and drag to select an area and release your drag pattern mouse. You can press the escape key to cancel before releasing your trackpad or mouse if you change your mind. Next slide. Now let's take a screenshot of a window. To do this, press Shift Command 4 and then the spacebar. This will change the pointer to camera. Move the camera over the window or menu you want to capture and look for the highlight to confirm that it's selected. Then click your trackpad or mouse to take the screenshot. Your screenshots will be saved to your desktop. If you also hold Control as you use these shortcuts, they'll save to your clipboard instead. You can also use the screenshot toolbar in addition to keyboard shortcuts. The screenshot toolbar is useful for things like recording your screen and changing your screenshot settings. To open it, press Shift Command 5. By default, the tools will appear at the bottom of the screen, but you can move them around if you like. You'll find the controls for taking a screenshot on the left-hand side. You can choose to capture the entire screen, a single window, or a portion of the screen. You'll also find tools for recording your entire screen or recording a portion of the screen. To view your customization options, click Options. Here, you'll find useful settings and features, like for setting a screenshot timer or changing your save location. Next reporter, please.
The next topic will be snipping tool. Snipping tool is a capturing tool that enables you to capture rectangular areas, freeform areas, specific window, or the full screen. After capturing the image you want, it will display in snipping tool application. You can save or send the image once you captured it. You can also use pen tool or highlighter to annotate the image before saving it, copying, or sending it. Next slide. To start snipping tool, you can find it through search bar. Once you open the snipping tool, you can use the mode button to customize your screenshots. Then click the new button to capture your screen. You can also time your capture by using the delay button. after the mode button. Next is the game bar. To use this game bar, you can press the Windows key plus G. On the overlay menu, click the camera icon to capture a full screen shot. You can record the video clip by clicking the recording icon. If you want to allow audio, you can select the mic icon. Screenshot and video clips captured by the game bar are saved in PNG format to the videos capture folders. You can also find it in game bar, but below the camera icon to show, and you can see the show all captures. The next reporter, please.
Next slide, please. Capturing images with snipping tool. We can use it in Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8.1, and Windows 10. To navigate snipping tools is number 1, to search charm all apps tool to locate and select the snipping tool. Number 2, select the new buttons down arrow if you want to change between the types of snips. If you just select the new button, whichever type of snip was selected will be used. You can choose between freeform snip, rectangular snip, window snip, full screen snip. For number 3, capture the images. If you are taking freeform snip, the cursor changes in pairs scissors. Hold the mouse button down and trace the outline want to capture. If you are taking a rectangular snip, the cursor changes to a crosshair. Hold the mouse button down and drag from the upper left to the lower right of the area to capture. If you are taking a window snip, the cursor changes to pointing hand. Select the window you wish to capture. If you are taking a full screen snip, as soon as you select new, the screen is captured. Next slide, please. Screen capture and the snipping tool. You can take snip or screenshot that is of only part of the screen with the snipping tool, or you can take a screen capture of the entire screen with the print screen button. Snipping tool. In Windows 10, you can open the snipping tool by going to Start Windows Access Snipping Tool, or by opening the Start menu and typing Snipping Tool. In Windows 7, you can open the snipping tool by going Start All Program Accessories Snipping Tool. Older version of Windows might have the snipping tool in similar location. However, they may not have the snipping tool at all, in which case the print screen button should be used to take screenshots. A little window contains new, cancel, and option button will appear when you use the snipping tool. Snapshots might be rectangular freeform window or fill screen. Windows 10 snipping tool also has a delay button, which can be helpful for capturing menus or dialog boxes. Next, please. Once you capture the screenshot, the snipping tool window will reappear with some new option available. That's all for snipping tool.
That's the report of Group 7 and Group 8 po, ma'am. Tapos na po kami. Thank you po.
Go ahead, Group 6 and Group 5. Group 6, Group 5, are you ready?
Yes po, ma'am. Wait lang po.
Yes po.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Group 5 to 5 and 6, and we are here to discuss about configure wireless device and identify security threats. Martin and I will discuss about configure wireless device, while Labrador Ace and Luchabes Mecha will discuss about perform secure web browsing. Next, please. Next. Introduction. Certain basic functions or features are common to all wireless computing device. What differs is how you set up those functions and features to optimize your use of the device. Configuring your wireless device enables you to take advantage of its feature and function. Next, please. Wireless device configuration option, security, sharing, communication, data management. Next, please. Basic security configuration settings. Security, a mobile device is a necessary task that should be required and enforced by any employer or user. You can implement several security methods to provide the right level of security while still providing access to desired resources and application. It is important that we secure our important files for our privacy so that no one can immediately open our devices. Next, please. Bluetooth. Bluetooth is a wireless technology that facilitates short-range wireless communication between devices. Both voice and data information are exchanged among these devices at 2.4 GHz within a range of approximately 30 feet. You can you can connect up to 8 Bluetooth devices to each other at a time. This connection of two 8-bit Bluetooth enables devices is known as a Piconet. Bluetooth devices operate at very low power levels of approximately 1 milliwatt. Bluetooth is commonly used the in mobile headset for hand-free communication with mobile phones. For computers, we use mouse, keyboards, and printer. Next, please. The basic step in this process include first is enable pairing on the device. Then on your mobile device, find a device for pairing. Then once the device is found, it will ask for a PIN code. Then depending on the type of device, the PIN code will be sent via text or it will be standard code such as 0000 used for wireless headsets. Then verify that a connection message has been displayed. Then test the connection by using the two devices together to either make a phone call, transfer data, or play music. Next, please. NFC or near field communication is a standard of communication for mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets that are in very close proximity, usually when touching or being only a few inches apart from each other. NFC is most often used for in-person transaction or data exchange. Aside from having a shorter range of operation, NFC cannot transfer as much data as Bluetooth. NFC used in contactless payment system and allow mobile payment, replacing and supplementing systems such as credit cards and electronic ticket smart cards. Next, please. Email configuration. Once you establish a network connection with your mobile devices, you can set up and configure email. You can configure mobile devices to automatically update your email account information and manage mail. Mobile device support many different email providers such as Yahoo, Mail, Microsoft Exchange, Windows Live, and Gmail, Hotmail, or Outlook. The next reporter is Martin Golicruz.
Next, please. This is the step how iPhone pair in Bluetooth device. First, move both the iPhone and the Bluetooth device so that they are within a few feet of one another. Second, use the manufacturer setup information to put the Bluetooth device in discoverable mode. Third, open the settings app from the home screen of your iPhone. Open the general setting option. Then verify the Bluetooth setting is on. If it's not, then tap the Bluetooth option and tap the off setting to switch to on. Then after the iPhone search is complete, tap the Bluetooth device in the list. If a passcode is required, enter the correct passcode either provided from the manufacturer or sent from the device you are connecting to. Then last, test the pairing by using the devices. Next po. And this is the step how Android mobile device pair with Bluetooth device. First, move the both device and the Bluetooth device so that they are within a few feet of one another. Use the manufacturer setup information to put the Bluetooth device in discoverable mode. Open the mobile device settings. Tap to open wireless network Bluetooth settings. Tap to turn on the Bluetooth settings. After searching, tap the Bluetooth device in the list. If a passcode is required, enter the correct passcode, either provided from the manufacturer or sent from the device you are connecting to. The last, testing the pairing by using devices too. Gesture-based interaction. Many modern computing devices have touchscreens. User convey instruction by touching these designated areas on the screen. The following table describes gestures that are universally recognized on devices that have touchscreens. Next. Black screen lang po yung makikita ko. Ayan, screen orientation. On most mobile devices, the screen orientation changes automatically with the position of the device. This function is possible due to advanced mobile OS technology that includes an accelerometer and gyroscope. The accelerometer reads and measures the orientation of the device by using a sensor that can measure the acceleration of the direction the device is moving in order to reposition the screen. This technology works when the device is in motion and upright. When the device is flat on a surface, the gyroscope changes the orientation of the device by reading the X and Y coordinates. As the device is moved, to quickly update the orientation of the screen. These technologies work together to provide an instant update to the screen in all environments. Airplane mode. You can use the airplane mode setting to quickly disconnect the mobile device from Wi-Fi and cellular connection, disabling the ability to send as well as receiving call, email, and text messages. By using airplane mode, you are complying with safety regulation while in flight, but you still have access to other built-in features and apps that don't require sending or receiving data. You might also decide to use airplane mode to conserve battery life or avoiding roaming charges when traveling abroad. Mobile app stores. Mobile apps are compact software programs that are developed to perform a predefined function. They are designed to work on a smartphone or a handheld mobile device such as mobile phone, tablet, or feature phone. You can download and use mobile apps for many different purposes. Install Apple App Store. This is the step how to install App Store in iOS device. Tap the Store app, second search for the app you want. Tap the app listing to read about the app before you install it. Tap the pre or price button and then tap either install or buy. When prompted, enter the password of your Apple ID account. The first time you attempt to install something from the App Store, will be prompted to log in and you will be asked to accept the App Store terms and conditions. Install Google Play Store apps. Is for Android only. Tap the Play Store app. Search for the app you want. If the app is free, tap the install button. If not free, tap the button that shows the price. When you are prompted to allow the new app to required access, tap accept. If the app is not free, tap the buy button. Then on the confirm password screen, type your Google password and tap confirm again. While that app is downloaded to your device, if you want to open the app, tap the open button, otherwise close the Play Store. Explain.
For the summary of the report, the most common application for NFC are in-person transaction and data sharing. NFC, in addition to having a limited operating rate, cannot send as much data as Bluetooth. It also teaches how to pair with Bluetooth using iPhone, Android devices. What is screen orientation, airplane mode in the mobile app store mean, and how to download application using Google Play and App Store. That's for the report.
Good day, everyone. We are the group 6, and we will discuss about the next topic, which is identify security threats. Next, please. Next. Introduction. Security threats come from many sources. A threat could be instigated by another person who is prudently representing himself or an institution, or the threat could be a software-based event caused by unknowingly downloading malicious code from the internet. Next, please. Online attack at best can affect one computer, or at worst, they can bring an entire organization to a grinding halt. By identifying the responding appropriately to potential social engineering attacks and understanding the risks associated with working online, you can protect not only your system, but also the entire infrastructure of your organization network. Hackers and attackers. So hackers is an individual who uses computer networking or other skills to overcome a technical problem. They can also may refer to anyone who uses their abilities to gain unauthorized access to system or network in order to commit crimes. They can steal information, to hurt people via identify theft or bring down a system, and often hold it as a hostage in order to collect a ransom. And the attacker probes the vulnerabilities, exploits them without permission or without warning the organization. Next, please. White hat. White hat is also known as ethical hackers. They do hacking with the permission from the owner of the system, which makes the process completely legal. Next, please. Black hat are criminals who break into computer network with malicious intent. They may also release malware that destroys files, hold computer hostage, or steal passwords, credit card numbers, and other personal information. Next, please.
Types of malware. Virus. A piece of code that spreads from one computer to another by attaching itself to other files. The code in a virus executes when the file it is attached to is open. Frequently, viruses are intended to enable further attacks, send data back to the attacker, or even corrupt or destroy data. Next. Next, please. Worm. A piece of code that spreads from one computer to another on its own, not by attaching itself to another file. Like a virus, a worm can enable further attacks, transmit data, corrupt, or erase files. Next. Trojan horse. An insidious type of malware that is itself a software attack and can pave the way for a number of other types of attacks. There is a social engineering component to a Trojan horse attack since the user has to be pulled into executing it. Next. Logic bombs. Piece of code that sits dormant on a target computer until it is triggered by a specific event, such as a specific date. Once the code is triggered, the logic bomb detonates and perform whatever actions it was programmed to do. Often, this includes erasing and corrupting data on the target system. Next. Spyware. Surreptitiously install malicious software that is intended to track and record the usage of a target system or to collect other data. The author wishes to obtain data collected include web browsing history, personal information, banking, and other financial information, as well as usernames and passwords. Next. Adware. Software that automatically displays or downloads advertisements when it is used. Although not all adware is malicious, Many adware programs have been associated with spyware and other types of malicious software. Also, it can reduce user productivity by slowing down systems and simply by creating annoyances. Next, rootkit. Code that is intended to take full or partial control of a system at the lowest levels. Rootkits often attempt to hide themselves from monitoring or detection and modify low-level system files when integrating themselves into a system. Rootkits can be used for non-malicious purposes such as virtualization. However, most rootkit infections install backdoors, spyware, or other malicious code once they have control of the target system. Next, social engineering. Spam. Spam is an email-based threat that presents various advertising materials, promotional content, or get-rich-quick schemes to users. The message can quickly fill a user's inbox and cause storage issues. Spam can also carry malicious code and other types of malware. Next, ransomware. Ransomware is malicious software that prevents you from using your computer. It usually displays a message stating that you must pay a fee or pay some other penalty before you can access your files and computer again. Paying the ransom does not necessarily mean that you will regain access to your files or computer. Next.
Thank you for that, Christian. Social engineering attacks. A social engineering attacks is a type of attack that uses deception and trickery to convince unsuspecting users to provide sensitive data or violate security guidelines. Social engineering is often a precursor to another type of attack. Next slide, please. Social engineering attacks can come in a variety of methods, in person, through email, or over the phone. Social engineering typically takes advantage of users who are not technically knowledgeable, but it can also be directed against technical support staff if the attacker pretends to be a user who needs help. Social engineering attacks can be prevented with effective user education. Next slide. Shoulder surfing. This is human-based attack where the goal is to look over the shoulder of an individual or he or she enters password information or a PIN. Shoulder surfing can happen in an office environment, a retail environment, at an ATM, or an entryway of a secure physical facility. When you are setting up workstation, the monitors should be placed so that they are facing hallways or windows and giving passerby an opportunity to view information on the screen. This is also applies employees who work from home. Their equipment should not be accessible by other family members or visible to people walking past their homes. Next slide, please. Spoofing. This is a human-based or software-based attack where the goal is to pretend to be someone else for the purpose of the identity concealment. Spoofing can occur in Internet Protocol or IP addresses, network adapters, hardware, media access control or MAC addresses, and email. If employed in email, various email message headers are changed to conceal the originator's identity. Impersonation. This is a human-based attack where an attacker pretends to be someone he is not. A common scenario is when an attacker calls an employee and pretends to be calling from the help desk. The attacker tells the employee he is reprogramming the order entry database and he needs the employee's username and password to make sure it gets entered, entered into the new system. Next reporter, please.
Hoax. This is an email-based or web-based attack that is intended to trick the user into performing undesired actions, such as deleting important system files in an attempt to remove a virus. It could also be a scam to convince users to give up important information or money for an interesting offer. Phishing. Phishing. This is a common type of email-based social engineering attack. In a phishing attack, the attacker sends an email that seems to come from a respected bank or other financial institution. The email claims that the recipient needs to provide an account number, social security number, or other private information to the sender in order to verify an account. Ironically, the phishing attack often claims that the account verification is necessary for security reasons. Individuals should never provide personal financial information to someone who requests it, whether through email or over the phone. Legitimate financial institutions never solicit this information from their clients. A similar form of phishing called farming can be done by redirecting a request for a website, typically an e-commerce site, to a similar looking but fake website. Phishing. This is a human-based attack where the goal is to extract personal, financial, or confidential information from the victim by using services such as the telephone system and IP-based voice messaging services or Voice over Internet Protocol VoIP. As the communication medium, this is also called voice phishing. So whaling. This is a form of phishing that targets individuals who are known to possess a good deal of wealth. It's also known as spear phishing. Whaling targets individuals that work in Fortune 500 companies or financial institutions whose salaries are expected to be high. Spam and spam. Spam is an email-based threat that represents various advertising materials, promotional content, or get-rich-quick schemes to users. The message can quickly fill a user inbox and cause storage issues. Spam can also carry malicious code and other types of malware. Spam can also be categorized as a type of social engineering because it can be used within social network sites such as Facebook and Twitter. Spam is an internet messaging based attack similar to spam that is propagated through instead of through email. So dumpster diving. Most people and companies are environmentally aware and recycle papers that they are done using. If that piece of paper contains company confidential information, be sure that it is shared and placed in a secure recycle bin. Attackers are not above jumping into a dumpster or large recycling location in an attempt to obtain information they can use or sell. So, in password cracking, a password cracking is any type of attack in which the attacker attempts to obtain and make use of password illegitimately. The attacker can guess or steal password or crack encrypted password files. A password attack can show up in audit log as repeatedly failed logons and then as a successful logon, or it can show as several successful logon attempts at unusual times or location. Theft. You must find a way to prevent the theft of both data and hardware. Items most often stolen are portable devices such as laptops, tablets, and smartphones. These pieces of hardware often have highly valuable data on them. You can physically secure laptops and tablets by using a cable, but determined thieves will cut through a cable. You can install software and encrypt the information on all of these portable devices to make it more difficult for the thieves to access the information contained on the devices. Next reporter, please.
Perform secure web browsing. Keep your browser and any plugins updated. Web browsers are often your first point of contact with the internet no matter what device you are using. Developers release frequent updates to ensure you can experience the latest the web has to offer. Block pop-ups. While desktop pop-ups from your operating system are unavoidable, pop-ups in your web browser can often be switched off. Browser pop-ups typically open new browser windows to push adverts. And while most are just annoying, some can contain malicious links or inappropriate content. Use an ad blocker. Pop-up ads and the feeling of ads following you around the internet have led to the rise in popularity of the ad blocker. Ad blockers stop web pages showing you ads, which sounds great until you realize how controversial this subject is and the profound impact it could have on the website you visit. Enable Do Not Track in your browser. Many browsers include the ability to send a Do Not Track request to websites which ask them not to collect or track your browsing data. However, what happens depends on how the sites respond to the request. Ensure you have up-to-date antivirus and firewall protection. You need antivirus and firewall protection software on your computer no matter how carefully you browse the web or how smart you think you are about the links you click and the files you open.
To summarize our report is about identify security threats. So hackers and attackers are the people that has a skills to access our computer through unauthorized or unapproved means. So the two types of hacker is white hat and black hat. So to make it easier, white hat is the good people because they doing the hacking into in legal way, and black hat is a bad people because they are doing hacking into a bad way. So some types of malware is virus and worm. So this is the sometimes application that can cause harm to our devices. So to perform a secure web browsing, you need to keep your browser and any plugins updated. Block your pop-ups, use an ad blocker, and make sure you have to update the antivirus and firewall protection. And that's all for our reporting. Thank you po.